Now, I'm going to quickly go through the strategy call framework. Now, I would suggest what you should do is actually look at the script, read it, and then come back to this video because I'm going to discuss the small details that are not written down. So, assuming that you've paused and come back and read the script. So, first things first, you need to follow a system of selling, otherwise, you're going to follow their system of buying. And the reason I say that is if you're not following some kind of system, if you don't have some kind of structure, you're going to come across as someone who doesn't know what they're doing. And if you follow this system, you're going to create a plan together so that by the end of it, they have convinced themselves that they need your product and service. So make sure to follow the system. Don't just try to cowboy it. Now, the second thing is when you're listening, make sure to have a slight smile. You don't have to be like full teeth showing, but just a slight smile, little bit of a head nod. Don't be too quick. If you do fast head nods, that's telling the other person, okay, get on with the point. Slow head nods and a head tilt. These are the three things that you want to do when you're listening. Just basic communication skills, but it shows that you care. So smile, head tilt, head nod. And when you're in this call, you want to act a little bit. You have to make it a little bit of a drama. That makes sense. Ah, yeah. That's what we call softeners. Because this script is very direct, it's to the point, but you want to improvise and make it a little bit more of a conversation. So this is where your improv is going to come in and adding softeners, extra lines that soften the entire sentence. So lastly, and the most important point is when you're doing this call, make sure to be taking notes on a notepad, iPad, I don't care, but take notes. And the reason is there's going to be a lot of things that pop up, and there might be things that you want to break and interrupt them to say, but that's not a good thing. What you want to do is you want to write all of these points and bring them out at the end. Because if you interrupt them, the call is going to go on for longer, and no one likes getting interrupted. So take notes. You're going to need to make sure that you're noting down what are the important points that they're saying so that you can bring it up at the end. The first part is where you're going to build a little bit of rapport. Don't talk about their day, don't talk about the weather, just quickly get into it where, hey, where are you based? Or hope you're doing well. But what you can do is you can add one line of something human. Hey, I just came from Disneyland. I just made some coffee. Finally, I've got some energy in the day. Or I just had some biryani. I'm really happy to have this call right now. Or some kind of small thing that shows that you're human. It doesn't have to be a mistake. It can be something cool that you did in the week, but don't blabber on about this. Keep it short. And then when you want to switch to business talk, this is the sentence that you use. By the way, I love reading about your business. How about we get right into the meat of things? Sounds good? Boom. You want to get a lot of affirmations and them agreeing with you. So sounds good, sounds fair enough. Yeah, you want to add all of these things as much as possible. The more people agree in the call, the more they're going to agree at the end with you as well. When you're setting the agenda, try to keep this word for word. I can't emphasize this enough. When you're on a call, especially if you're doing this over Zoom, try to keep the script under the camera so that you can read it. So you don't have to memorize all of this. Majority of the call, you don't need to see them. All you need to do is listen. So if you can keep this script right under the camera and read it, they will never be able to tell. I've taken thousands of sales calls. I've seen thousands of recordings as well. You can't tell the difference, okay? So set the agenda word for word. Then we're going to get into the decision where we're going to ask them, why now, why me? And it's important to get this reiterated. Even if you just had the call yesterday, ask them to say it again, just so that there's more clarity. It reinforces them that they need to solve this problem and you're the person to solve it. Then we're going to go into a deeper conversation. We did cover this in the triage call a little bit, but at this point, you want to ask more deeper questions. Why do you want this result? Why is this so important to you? What are you doing right now? Why are you doing these things right now? What are the roadblocks? Why did these things not work in the past? What were all the different avenues of things that you've tried in the past? You want to go into a lot more detail. When it comes to the check-in, it just reinforces that they like having this conversation with you because this little line, I love asking everyone because for most of the people that I talk to, this is the first time that they get to speak everything out aloud. What's been the most valuable thing so far? And the reason why I like asking this question, because they got to speak out their problems, what they're going through, where they want to be. It's a little bit therapeutic. But when they tell you that they enjoyed the process, it makes them like you even more. So you want them to say it out loud. But before we go into the magic pills, there's one thing that I want you to do, and it's this: let's flip roles. Because what happens is when you use this sentence, hey, let's flip roles, you be the question asker now. Where do you think we should go from here? It's like giving them the talking stick and saying, okay, now you lead the conversation. And no one leads it well, so they always just hand you back the stick. And that gives them a comfort that, you know what, I can trust this person. Let this person lead me. So what you're basically doing is you're training them to let you lead them. So this is very important. Don't miss out these lines. Make sure you flip the roles. Hey, where do you think we should go from here? And let them just give the stick back to you. And you just follow along the same path. But each of these magic pills have a different purpose. So first we're going to talk about their problems. We're just going to speak it out again. Then we're going to prescribe the solution. Then we're going to show them what you have to promise. We're going to show them your model, and we're going to show them the timeline and walk them through your roadmap. And then we're going to talk about timing and price. But the main point that I want to cover, because you can read all of this, is this 3-question loop. It will feel, when you're reading this or when you're hearing me talk about it, it might feel unnatural. But when you're in a one-on-one conversation with someone, it's very smooth. And it actually makes the conversation a bit lighter and easier for them to digest. So what you want to do is you always want to have this last question at the end of every magic pill. Where should we go from here? So first, we're going to reiterate everything that they've said, that this is the result they want, these are the problems that they're having, and this problem is costing them this much, and this is why they need to get to their desired result. Is this making sense so far? Where do you think we should go from here? They're like, what should I do about it? Then you prescribe the problem. So you need these 3 things that will give you these benefits, which is basically going to be your triangle model. And at the end, you ask, are you 100% comfortable with everything so far? Where do you think we should go from here? And you don't do this immediately after each other. You get confirmation for the first question, and then you go to the second part. Then the promise is just to get them to confirm in their own heads that you're specifically the person who helps people just like them solve the specific problem that they have and help them get the results that they want. This is just reconfirming in their own mind and reminding them that you're a specific expert in solving this one problem for them. So the script is, so even if we're thinking about working together, it's really important that our goals are aligned. I work with people just like you, solve the problem that you have to get the result that you want. Before we go any further, I just wanted to check in. Is that okay? Are our goals aligned? Once they say yes, then you just move on. Is everything making sense so far? Yeah. And where do you think we should go from here? Then you show your model, which is the triangle, and just explain it to them that these are the 3 problems that you solve, and explain the problems a little bit. Give a little bit of detail to why these 3 problems are so important. Are you comfortable with everything so far? Where do you think we should go from here? Then logistics. This is where you show your roadmap, the timeline that you show. We're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Is this making sense so far? Where do you think we should go from here? Then when it comes to pricing, then we first talk about timing and get their commitment for 12 months. Then we talk about pricing. We offer 2 prices, but here's the thing with pricing. What I would suggest is having a big price that you show first, because when you show a big price first, the smaller price looks even smaller. So what you can do is, if you don't have an installment offer in your business, that's okay. What you can do is you can create a offer that's imaginary, that has way too much in it, and it's priced incredibly high. It's unreasonably high. And then you can show the price for your main thing, like whatever is the real price that you want to show. And then at the end, you ask the 3 questions. Is this making sense so far? Yeah. Are you 100% comfortable with everything so far? Yeah. Where do you think we should go from here? Boom. Now, if they do not confirm on the spot, or maybe your sales process doesn't allow them to confirm on the spot for whatever reason, I would suggest trying to close them on the spot. So if they give any kind of objections, follow the objection handling framework and then come back and use the same close. Are you 100% comfortable with everything so far? Yeah. Okay, where do you think we should go from here? Boom. So this is the close that you just want to memorize. So if you have any questions or you need practice with this, just come to the group calls. We'll help you out.